unfortunate. Would have been nice to see something happen in there. It's not over yet. Utility usage though seems somewhat on point. And that's where the save should be called. That's where Speedy needs to go home, get it all rolling. Because you don't want to waste any money anymore. You are up 4-1, 4-2 is going to happen next. You still are in the lead. And Sprout definitely, they're the team to always bounce back.
Not in this round. They're going for mid control, but I would say one by one. I mean, Caper not waiting for his teammates to arrive to give, I mean, to make it any trade kill happen, or possible even. And now A gonna need to think on their feet. Will they go for a B split once more, or will they try to hit the A side? The good thing is Surson, he can call very early if anyone is coming towards the B side. This could be soon.
And there's still 60 seconds left. Searson, though, tax Sparrow, that's worth something. Murbit's patience could pay off. Oh, Murbit's patience could pay off so big time, as they are somewhat not focused on it, and yes, he gets himself grubby. But Furlan is ready and prepared, and so the molly drops can still extinguish the fire, and that gets a lot of attention. Speedy can use it by going through the vents, and one by one achieves a frag after another. And Sparrow now get one guy on the defuse. That already's happening. And that off is down on the ground. And AGO can only get 2 right now on the board. Only 2 consecutive rounds. And this is right now where their economy still is not booming. It's not this thriving situation where I think, well, we all survive, we all get big bucks. That's not the case.
And just a perfect base setup from start, because we saw, I mean, the angle Susra was holding, you normally wouldn't expect anyone else to be on the B side. When you're holding just this little small angle, just holding the angle for some information. And I was so sure that no one was on the B side. Susra even playing more aggressive, getting the first frag, and such nice entries from this guy. And I was maybe doubting him in the beginning that he doesn't know the right angles. Maybe didn't play cash too many times, but it seems like he has the right idea. He knows how to play cash. That's an early entry, and still they're going for the B execute, and there's Nurbit.
Yeah, that flashbang was just brilliant. The man himself, though, caught in the corner, and I mean, he can hardly escape. He could have just actually went to Ventrum if you'd like to, and Searson is totally being annihilated. The last line of defense. Maybe Speedy got something to say about this. Nope. No chance at all. And it really came down to those quick free kills that turned things around. And so Joseph needs to consider safe or frag. For the moment, it seems like he only looks for those exit frags. AGO's economy still, he wants to hurt that. But it really was this entire thing collapsing. Once the AGO players took a more aggressive approach, Murbit could have moved maybe into Ventrum. Maybe that would have been the right call, but could have done the defuse actually. Oh, this is unbelievable. 5-3, back and forth, but will AGO still keep the upper hand in the long run?
Yeah, a little bit strange. I mean, the beginning setup was perfect. Surson going for the early peak, getting the entry kill. Then even the such a beautiful timed pop flash for Murbit. He gets another frag. Then he used a smoke to get a little bit more map control, at least to survive a little bit longer, but it looked like there was still some escape plan missing for him. It was like, well, if you give it a perfect pop flash, I will get a frag. And yeah, I got a frag, but now, well, a little bit of trouble. No more flashes on Surson, and then he needs to play for himself. Gets denied, and then I would say I was probably in the beginning, such a beautiful team play, and in the end, just getting picked off one by one by one. Merbit gets picked off, then the next guy on Heavy gets picked off, and then even Surson gets picked off. You think maybe they could have went for a setup where there are some trade kills were possible, but that's it. If you once you make a mistake, you think, well, we got 2 entries, this run should be over, and still, you just get crushed.
And still, as you say it, and still. Fun fact, as we talked about the weapon usage of Spitty, in the last 3 months, the man has made 478 frags with his AK-47.
Yep.
And 324 with the AUK. Next up comes the UMP, the FAMAS, and then the USPS, and then, on the 6th rank, the M4. And that really tells you the guy enjoys playing that gun.
Yeah, and because he knows what's good. He knows the AUK is the right weapon. Do we play it? But interesting to see, I mean, he could have even bought knock in this round, but he went for the M4, so maybe this could cost him a round. Oh, not explosive. There you go.
That is for right now where Faven tried to have a little bit more impact. Spitty holds the last line of defense. He somehow still is alive, but finally eliminated, and so poor Merbit is on his own. Should not stand a chance against that superior firepower of AGO. And Sprout, well, there it goes. It seems like this might get into a tie anytime soon.
Yep.
And talking about cash, I'm not quite sure if the aggression of Sprout will be really significantly better. Like where you see a major difference.
I think I like the maybe somewhat of a new approach of Sprout to play a little bit more aggressive, go for those insane peaks, always go for mission play, but at some point you need to play it safe sometimes. But it's just a free one, a free round for AGO, even last man remaining, and even he falls in the end. And coming back to my point, so to play something, to play a little bit more aggressive is something you want to have on even on your city side. I mean, because many German teams they play too structurally, always playing it safe, and sometimes you need to play a little bit crazy. Yeah, but I would say Sprout maybe they're using a little bit too much spice. It's like it's like when I started cooking. I found out, oh, there's salt and pepper. You could use that to maybe put a little bit spice in, and then I just crank it up, and more pepper, and in the end it's maybe a little bit overspiced.
Well, let's see if those spicy players are coming in right now. As you say, spice has been added to Speedy. Maybe a little bit less spice could be sometimes a good idea. There it is, Timo Richter. On his own in A main.
There it goes again. Somewhat often. I think it's the mid control though, where they smoke off highway, so they could again go for his A split, and we'll be interesting to see if Sprout expects this one. I mean, again, we can see the same setup. First smoke's coming, second smoke's coming, and then now they should know, but this could be all a fake. And I think they're expecting the fake to come in.
Speedy can't dip out, and Faven uses the height advantage over there on the barrels to eliminate Furlan. Still 30 seconds are left. That's not a good bit of time for AGO. They got no buffer to do mistakes, and Sirson with the whiff is not how you want to initiate your defense. Doesn't change the fact that still Merbit is on the side. The AUK finds the double, and he might just wants to get into a little bit more than that, but 15 HP are definitely not making you feel comfortable covering with one. Oh, he's running out of bullets, and he finally is being eliminated. And he just was standing open on the side, not even changing to his sidearm. But Jesus Christ, Joseph felt like he needs to do it with a pistol, because he himself didn't have the accuracy to do it in the regular time.
Yeah, but what a close run. And there is, you see the game sense, the gameplay from Merbit coming in. So they play the same exact execute. mid-control, smoke off highway, and then the next two smokes come towards car. So you would think maybe they're going for this A split again. But then you see A go, turn it around, make it a B split through connector, and even then Murbit felt like something is not right. Something is not right, let me fall back to the side, because most people would have thought, if when his teammates call, hey, it's the mid-control tactic, maybe they split A again, you'd think Murbit would just rush through B and try to backstep. But he felt maybe they could fake it this time. Falling back on the B side, taking his time, playing the time, waiting for a pop flash from his teammates to arrive, and getting two very important frags.
And this tactical timeout is extremely relevant right now for AGL. As though they have all invested, we see PHR, Furlan, and Sparrow having a bit of an economic drought coming their way in case they'll be losing this. So it would not only mean that we have ourselves a 7-5 scoreline, that would be one of the cases here, but even worse, this would basically mean 7-5 and AGL having 3 out of 5 players who can't really invest. Sure, they get drops, but this still doesn't help you in the long run.
And this round they're going for a Shroud boost, but this could be very devastating if Ego decides to explode on the A side. But taking that time, did they make the sound? I mean, I think they have the sound cue from Speedy, and now with this nade they could expect the Shroud boost. It will be interesting to see if they have the awareness, because now they know someone was close at one point.
I mean, after thousands of hours played, you could recognize what's happening, but this is always a surprise thing. You once do it on the A side, you once just decide to go up Sprout, and plant your seeds there. Well, let's see. If Sprout goes up, could technically get themselves a 10-5 scoreline in this off. And Faven not overextending would be definitely one of the scorelines. Also keep it slow with the aim. Starts off good, goes even more, and that is how you can maintain control. Oh, Daft comes from above! And he lands on the head of Caper, who grabbed a 2K. As somebody still thought it's a brilliant idea to stand just in the smoke. That Searson down, and Murbit slow. No overhyped plays needed. Slow and steady could win him the round. But he needs to plan for A. You got no time to go to B. And I could be horribly wrong. He has the time to go to B. My god, he runs like Usain Bolt through the vents towards the side, and he really makes that happen. But Murbit got it on his radar already, comes in quite quickly, and I didn't expect Caper to realize or recognize that he's going to be so fast, and he is so fast, but Caper got the right idea, and Caper got the right aim to clutch this one around for AGO. It was Sprout having full control, everything in their hands. And they started to slip up. And all coming down to Caper.
Yeah, and especially when the first clip through smoke, I still have no clue how he got that one. Of course you could expect someone to be in a smoke, but to have the ball to just start shooting through it, revealing your position. What a clutch. What a clutch from him in such an important round. This could have been a round for Unsprout. I mean, Faven doing such an amazing job in the beginning, getting the 3K, dropping onto the head of Caper. And Caper, he has been playing very well on Cash. It seems like it's his favorite map. And again, he finds Biddy, but there is Dennis and his Eagle.
Man, equalized situation, but it left pretty much a mark on Sprout's economy. They have been devastated after this round, and Nate is the bye-bye situation. As the Mollo does not stop burning for Searson, means Grubby and Co. Yeah, they maintained the control over the A side. They got it in their hands. And Furlan, here's the steps towards connector, which now should make him the hero of this. I didn't want to go that far because you never know what's about to happen. But with 16 HP, Murbit is dead. He shouldn't stand a chance. He should be hunted down anytime soon, especially as he has body armor. Something where he would need to reinvest it into the future. When you gotta steal it again. That's a body shot. Upgrade. Seems like he's playing gun game and goes for one gun after another. And this is where AGO themselves don't have big reserves. So, slowly. And maybe, that would be very interesting right now, maybe we can take a look at the ADR of Sprout. Because the ADR would pretty much tell us, oh, how good is looking Dennis? So he doesn't have too many kills.
Yep, yeah.
Good impact. And same goes with Faven, though. That doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, and it's one more full eco for Sprout. I mean, Burbot has the AK safe, but he is not on the B side. There's only Sorcerer with his USP. Not any utility. Even the next round will be interesting to see. I mean, Surson, I'm not quite sure if he's able to afford an open next round. Even a glass cannon will be very close. And it's gonna be a B hit, and it should be an easy one for Ago.
Joseph starting off brilliant with a shot into PHR. 2 players falling down. At least an upgrade pistol for Spitty. And this is right now all about damage control. This is all about eliminating 2 or 3 more players. But that is very unlikely right now. Sure, Mirbit is on full HP, and sure, he got the AK, but I mean, even the safe would be somewhat reasonable. As the following up round, as you say, will not result in a situation that is just immensely benefiting Sprout from an economic point of view. So having those few extra dollars, it's very helpful. Though what I would have not expected that it gets this close. But on the other hand, so far, we could say AGO, with the gamble they took, right? Because they got Cash, Train, and Inferno left to pick. And Train would have been somewhat statistically an alright map for them.
Exactly.
And same goes, not really for Inferno, but they're not much worse than Sprout. So they could have, both other picks would have made sense as well.
Yeah, I would even say, I mean, that Cash seems like a kind of gamble from Ago. A gamble I wouldn't have expected, because I would say Ago should feel confident enough to say, let's just play our best map, and we play our best map better than Sprout does, and not to go for this gamble where they say, well, we've played Cash before, I mean, we somewhat like Cash. Oh, and look at the speed from Ago in this round.
They're going in fast, but Caper missing his major opportunity. The nade will go deep towards main. Doesn't deal too much damage for it. They're lining up for Speedy. Goes for the pistol and does not get that one done. But Grubby with 7 HP should be eliminated in just a second, as Faven got his rifle already out. He might be dancing around the box. 7 to 8 is more than enough. Cash is where we end with a 7 to 8 half. And AGO with that 1 round advantage is now going to face Sprout on the aggressor side, where they're not immensely better. It's not like there's a major difference where you would say, okay, this is just, you know, Sprout having a bad CT side in general. They will now just go ham and pick up the best aggressor's tactics possible. This is not the case.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, 8-7 scoreline is probably the perfect scoreline on Cash. For somewhat of both teams normally, because 8-7 seems like Cash is normally, for most teams, a map you win slightly on the T side. But on the side of Ago, if you take a look and see how they play Cash, they really heavily, very heavily rely on the T side. So they're a way better T team on Cash than on the CT side. So with only 8 rounds, this could be a little bit dangerous for them.
True, right, and that's where the defense might collapse very soon. It just depends how well prepared is Sprout, because I mean, Sprout, for being a team that is now together for like how long? 2 weeks. It could get problematic.
Yeah,
because they might have not practiced enough, or just try to avoid Cash as much as possible. As though their map bans have been, funny-wise, Overpass and Mirage, which I understand for Overpass. Not necessarily for Mirage, but, you know, new team, new map pool. And let's see what the defense of Ferlin and Co can do. Let's see what they'll deliver to get it done. And Ferlin starts off good. Main is now where all the T's are trying to come out from. Ferlin with 2. And Ferlin going for a triple is nice and great, but it doesn't change the fact that the bomb makes its way on the side, and Joseph puts a shot into the back of Grubby, and 1 in the front of Sparrow. Means PHR is a lucky man to have a clutch for himself, the hero moment he might be looking for. And as hero players are needed at the moment, Speedy's wounded. Fabian got full armor and 100 HP. And on the right-hand side, directly in the bomb, Speedy waits, and the Glock has been put into use. Already tied up. That went quick, and the CT economy, well, eco time.
It should be eco time, although we've seen some teams force on every map in the second round, which I'm not a big fan of. On some maps it makes sense, especially when you have a special plan, when you have some idea what you can do, or even have some idea what your opponents likes to play in those rounds. But Ego, they decide to play it somewhat smart. One eco, and then they will be able to buy the M4s, the Ox, and that is all the information he needs. A side should be clear. Now they just need to pick up the bomb and rotate to the A side. That is even trying to backstab from Beast. Behind from B, but
okay.
Yeah, he's whiffing some shots, and Fabian also needs to be careful not to lose too many weapons and they just fall one by one.
Sirson is cleaning up. Swiping the floor with the poles as the MAC-10 does what a MAC-10 does best. He activates the single fire mode with the switch on the right-hand side. And therefore Sprout will now take nothing else than the lead.
And I don't know, okay, it looked for a moment like Sirson tried to pick up the AK from Dennis and dropped his MAC-10, but I think it's still on the ground there. Yeah, Fabian picked up the MAC-10, Sirson going for the up. And talking about, I mean, AWP players, Sirson, I mentioned earlier that Cash maybe could be a problem for him. Right. He has only, I mean, now he has 8 frags, but 8 frags is not something you see on Sirson. I mean, maybe in the first 5 rounds.
But then we go back to what we talked about previously, how often he played this map, where he's totally inexperienced when it comes down to Cash. Previous team alternate hardly picked this map, hardly had to play it. And therefore I understand his averagely bad performance. 8 to 12 is not miserable, but still not what you would usually expect from him. Yep. I mean, he was picked up to be the star ARPer, and a very basic throw that totally has been missed. But oh, he taps Ferlin once. Couldn't even go for more, but the Sirson AWP strikes, and this is right now where the A side is somewhat open. Sirson can just jump on the site, get that C4 on the ground, and make it look easy for Sprout, as 2 rifles are still in the hands of the site of AGL. And as Dennis wanted to maybe lurk around here and there, he's going to be punished for that with a bullet in his head. Sparrow and his teammate are split up to now get that retake going, because we see Sirson is ready in quad to now shoot down the guy over there. He definitely saw him. He jump peeked and Murbit with the wrong timing. This is so unfortunate. It means Sirson is pretty much on his own, and he takes a little bit more of an aggressive approach. He sees the shadow, hits the first, and from the left-hand side, he expects the main player to come, and he tries to see if the high ground will be taken. He gets into the smoke. This is so intelligent from Sirson as he uses the smoke to his own advantage, but the fuse is coming in. He takes the scout. It's actually the AWP. It doesn't matter. He's fine in the round. And he delayed it and delayed it and delayed it. And he was playing the scout, of course, because he was looking for information.
Yeah.
He had the AWP, obviously.
Yeah, he had the AWP, but his role was just to scout where the last player was. And if he was defusing, and yeah, so beautifully played. I mean, the 1v2 was so perfectly played. This
was good because what he has done is moving out of quad and then realizing, okay, if I stay in quad, too many angles I have to cover. So going behind red and knowing that there's someone coming for highway or car, seeing the shadow and getting the player.
Yeah, and even denying Ego the chance to play the 2v1 together, because now he looks for the 1v1 fights. He picks the first fight, wins it, another 1v1. If he stays at quad, they can come.
That's the easiest position to come from 2 angles,
exactly.
Right? And then just playing around the smoke, not choosing the duel is of course not the coolest thing, but I mean it's exactly what wins you around. And Sprout, in that sense, I have to say, was never a cool team. Sounds harsh, but Sprout was never a cool team. They have great teamwork. That's the outstanding thing about Sprout. This is why I love to watch them every time. Even with the Danish lineup, you can rely on structure, team play, and maybe on a Sparrow finding the eagle headshot's not the case. Would have been too amazing to see him turn this one around, but We talked about it. A weak CT side coming in from AGO. Not even a single sign of life they have showed us so far.
And they just could get crushed if they continue to play this way, although, I mean, you're really early on into the second half, so let's wait a little bit longer. And I would say, I mean, I'm missing a little bit of Sparrow, I would say. He has been doing a great job.
For a second, I thought you said Schnetker, and I was like, I heard that you know, and I thought you said Schnetker, and I was like, I miss him.
Yeah, but we have Schlex now.
It's not the same.
It's an upgrade.
No.
It's an upgrade.
No.
Yep.
No.
Individually and also just his name. Schnetker was fine, but Schlex. He's a cutie. Schnetker. The good old times. Look at Murbit getting information on B, but being a little bit too careless, not expecting Ego to play so aggressive. Perfect pop flash coming in.
Oh, this is brilliant.
And it's a big mistake. You always have someone just waiting for a pop flash in main. You never have two people looking the same way. That's the first rule of Cash, and I get punished for it.
They demolished them entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got some reserves to now make it work. But as you say, why did nobody say anti-flash?
Yeah.
Why was that? And I mean, it was not like they caught him. They caught him like in a situation where he was like we're 1 minute in. It was this real surprising bad timing.
Yeah. I mean, of course, they were going for a contact play because we saw how I think it was Surson had the up in his hands, looking for the contact, but his teammate normally would expect him to stay at the wooden box, look at the wall, and as soon as a pop flash arrives, even if Surson is dead, you still just need to revenge him. Look at the same angle, both looking at the pop flash, and now Faven getting killed, and the same goes to Spitty. So a little bit of, I mean, maybe careless is the wrong word, but at least Sprout don't expect Heiko to play that way. And again, Murbit, I mean, they're all now playing one by one. I would really like to see Sprout taking the time, not just the good old structured German way.
Yeah, true. I mean, it worked for a good bit of the time at the beginning of the second half. And you have to say, it's not Sprout has anything on the line. It's not like they're fighting for the top 8. They're the #1 in the standings, you know, and that well deserved. Whilst AGO, they're actually from 14 teams, they right now are on the 10th rank.
Yeah.
That's just I don't know how that can happen. And so for the moment, it looks like Sprout still wants to deliver a fight, but PHR used the exact right timing. Means Sirison, the Opera alone with the AK-47. Change anything, and that of course will not be the case. They're getting closer and closer, but it's not done yet. It's not done yet.
And so odd to see Sprout struggle, but really, I mean, I would even say Ego had a way more structured approach on the T set, because when they took mid control, they threw everything. There was a smoke towards connector, you saw some Molotovs being thrown, some pop flashes, and they hit just the middle at exactly the same time. Yeah. And on Sprout, I mean, this even now missing the basic pop flashes, so it's not a good sign from them. But it's gonna be a B hit, and I expect at least 2 smokes to be used. Oh, this gets interesting.
This is brilliant right now, as they still cannot really maintain the control, but the pistols, they get onto the site, and as they are planted for the moment, it looks like that retake is to be initiated in just a second. Joseph and Spitty, they're both trying to get that one done, but double nade setup, players coming in. And 11 to 11 is happening. Grubby is getting it done. 11 rounds on every side. And Sprout... Well, it's about you. And once more, reminding everybody, AGO wins 75% of the rounds on the T sites, 25 of them on CT site. That's a major difference.
And it's a little bit sad to see, I mean, Sprout struggles so much against a team you would think are themselves not playing too good on the CT side. Although I would say, I mean, so far, no big mistakes from AGO. It's more or less just Sprout playing maybe a little bit too cocky. And this round, it's nearly full eco.
Yeah, of course, in full eco you can't do anything. So Dennis gets anything done. I mean, a deagle headshot is nice to have in such a round, and with Dennis now getting onto the sites, I would have expected this flick to somehow make it work, but nevertheless, AGO, they take the lead. And I'm somewhat intimidated because this round will result.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a high influence on the result of this match because it's 12-11. AGO could shut down Sprout entirely. And when it's 13-11, Sprout will not have any resources to really rely on. They don't have any backup money.
And now we can see they're a little bit intimidated. Or we could say they're playing it safe because now they're taking their time to gain mid control. Surson holding middle towards connector. Oh, but Sparrow needs to be careful.
Getting onto the B side right now. And as you see, they obtained the control. Bombs down, and AGO, they doubted themselves, but they got a little bit, not even a little bit, they got high major reserves left in their bank accounts. I mean, Caper on 8.3, first losing bonus coming in. He's nearly on 10K. Imagine that, right?
Oh, they've been looking for some exit kills, which makes total sense because...
That's brilliant.
Perfect.
And that's painful, because Sprout, I mean, there's not... The winning bonus will not just send them in heaven from an economic point of view. I highly doubt that they'll actually benefit. And I mean, Sirson dying would be the worst, at least for only he gets, but...
Yeah, but still, I mean, even just if you look at the long run, they keep the economy low, so AGO, they still have the chance, even if they lose this round, they still have the chance, if they win 1 or 2 rounds, to break the economy of Sprout and then maybe even close out the match. So that's a perfect setup for the long con. And Sprout, I mean, at this point, Speedy, he can drop an AK, that makes sense. Sirson should also drop an AK, and I think Dennis or Faven could buy it for themselves, but they won't have the best utility they want in this round.
And that's where Speedy could decide to maybe go for a Galil, or decide to maybe go for UMP.
Yeah, but I think maybe the AK is more important.
Of course, but I mean, when we talk about utility...
But they still have I mean, they still have a lot of utility. Okay, they nearly have perfect utility, to be honest. Only Sirson is missing maybe a Molotov.
But they took the Mac 10. That's the bullet they've been biting. You know, that's the bullet they've been biting, and that's somewhat understandable to some extent, because now just seeing Mermid, what will he do? Because will he just go full speed, maximum acceleration?
Yep. And especially since all cities have helmets, so he needs, even on close range, at least 2 or 3 headshots to make the kill. Which could be his downfall. But now, let's see and wait. Again, mid control coming in from Sprout. Flat is coming in. In forward frame was spread a fast B split, and Grubby. Will he check in?
Yeah, his positioning is so important. They don't check shower for the moment, but they might just send a second player in. There's first of all PHR doing his job, and that's by contributing with 2 important frags. Grubby should be known now, and Murbit comes close range, Mac 10 and use. Oh, and Zirason assisting his teammate not to die. Doesn't change the fact they walk around each other. Oh, Dennis, he does the moonwalk. But Zirason.
Oh, and Caper again. Not this guy.
He's the guy to now change it around. And Caper got an HE, a Molotov, and a flashbang. We saw him already do the 4K clutch. The newest edition of AGO that could now become the Grim Reaper and the biggest foe of Sprout. As that nade does its job, Murbit is forced away from his actual position and a flashbang to use, but both are peeking at the same time. And Caper doesn't stand a chance. And once more, we're in a situation where they got money. And that must feel annoying for Sprout.
Yep.
I mean, they should have the awareness, right? I mean, they after hours of hours, recognizing now the situation.
And even in this round, they're keeping the economy low of Sprout. I mean, they don't have too many backup money. Then it's at least 2.8k, but still. AGO is still in it. If they win this round, this could get very interesting. And Sprout, they have been playing towards the B side in the last few rounds. Now they're going for the A side. Caper, they're still going for a Shroud boost. And that's the one thing that will look like the downfall for AGO if it wasn't for Caper. Now will Sprout expect the same. This could be again an A split. It looks like they're going for mid control in the end. Bomb still dropped towards the T spawn. There's one pump flash coming in. And Sprout, maybe it was just a fake towards the A side. They're going again mid control. This could be another B split.
Could be another beast, but when you see AGO playing it extremely defensive back there, most likely looking forward what Shapiro got up. Because he's somewhat of a grab back sometimes. Now I'm asking myself, what is the actual game plan? Because Furlan, he took so much control, right? And he's so close. He at least gets one, but that is not the impact you want to have with such a position. And has Zirason coming up with the frags you need. And AGO is collapsing. The wind is hitting the card house from Poland. And it starts to fall into pieces.
And this was probably the last chance they had. I mean, if they would have won this round, they could send Sprout in the first, but now it's 14-12. AGO, all the money they saved, it's gone. And only 2 more rounds for Sprout. And I mean, that's finally something I like to see from Sprout.
Yeah.
Tactical approach, not going in one by one, not trying to play around the individual. Play around the individual skill, more or less they have.
They won't check the lockers, right?
Yep, yeah. Although I would say, I mean, it's a position where, first of all, you have very early on the information if something comes towards A main, so your teammates have the time to rotate. And I even think he didn't. I mean,
And still, we got an 8 up.